The stock market is crashing, 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 crashing down to earth. Yes, it's been a couple of tough days on the stock market. What is happening in the world right now? Is the time to get out of all your stocks? Is the time to buy? Well, you might see your portfolio has dropped down 10-20% in the last couple of days, getting worried. Well, don't get worried, folks. It could drop to 50%. What's the worst can happen? You can lose it all. Just kidding. We're here, right here at Barry Charles, to get you out of this turmoil and find ways to make money when the stocks are crashing. What can you do? Well, first of all, to make sure you don't lose money, smash the like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't go into financial ruin and see your money down the toilet. Just kidding. It would be much appreciated if you like and subscribe. But yes, what is actually happening out in the world? It's Trump, baby. Trump is doing absolutely everything to try and smash this market. He's shooting all over the place. No pun intended. He's absolutely putting daggers in everywhere. He's cutting our cabinet costs. He's cutting spend in the military. In the military and defense space. He's putting tariffs on countries, which is making some of the big companies around the world panic because they're going to lose out on money because they've got to pay these tariffs. Semiconductor companies as well, paying overseas to China and having to pay more money. Palantir losing out as well. So it's all turmoil. So what can you do in the cycle, in the market? What should you do? Is it just a short-term thing with the political environment out there? Well, I'm going to give you 4 potential ways to make money. Doesn't mean you have to do all 4. You may only do 1, but just do what you're comfortable with, what you think you know, what you're doing well. I'm just giving you some ideas of what you should do, and then right at the end, I'll give you what my opinion is, what I would do in this current situation, what I am doing in this current situation. Let's get to it. Number 1, buy the dip, baby. Yes, buy that dip. So first of all, you can look at buying into high top quality stocks like Apple, Amazon and the likes while they're dropping. When they drop 25% or more, which is very rare, but when they do, it's a very good buying opportunity. We've seen that with Meta before when it dropped right down to $80. Something ridiculous like that, folks. Down to the lows and now flying high over 600. This is when they're starting to drop again. If they do, buy all day if you love the company. Not financial advice. But also, other stocks, you can look at the value stocks and dividend stocks. If dividend stocks really dropped as well, you're going to get a lot better yield. Say it dropped 50%, it was 2.5% before, it dropped 50%, you're getting a 5% yield. That's if they're not going to cut. That's the danger though, when dividend ones really cut so low. It depends on how the company's going. If they're losing money, then they start cutting the dividend, and that's when the price drops more and more. Calamities, that's the danger of dividend stocks. You have to make sure the financials are still going strong to stick in the dividend stock. Otherwise, you can get hurt in the long term. But yeah, opportunities. I want to give you the stocks that are currently happening, what's happening with the company. So Palantir. High flying up and down quite a bit. Obviously going to be more steady into the future, but there's still a little bit of turmoil. If this stock drops to $60, if it does, you could even say the price is now, it's not too bad. Load the boat because it's going to go flying higher again. No doubt about it, the stock is going to continue to fly high going into the future as they continue to make more and more money. But yeah, if it gets down to $60, load the boat and just let your money grow. But yes, when you're buying a dip on stocks, make sure it's dropping because of bad news in the media, not because of the financials of the company, the actual business model. If they're dropping because of the business model, then you need to run away to the hills. But if it's just because of some random Donald Trump tweet, Elon Musk tweet, then buy, because that's when you get big opportunities in this market to make life-changing decisions for yourself. So, but yes, what do I see when you're looking at stocks to potentially buy? So here is my number 2 offering for you folks. This is not a guaranteed one at all, absolutely not. Do your own research before you try out this one, is to buy stocks that support Trump, or what's good when Trump's in office. So you can argue all different ones here, but infrastructure and construction companies like Caterpillar, for instance, and Vulcan Materials might get a big run up here with tariffs. If tariffs stayed for a while, companies in America will start going back to Caterpillar and using their stock instead of spending more overseas. So that's a potential way. And energy and oil sector may get a sudden rise of more favourable policies. So ExxonMobil and Chevron could be good buying opportunities. But this is where I come in full honesty with you here, folks. This is potentially a fool's game. It doesn't mean you can't make money. Short term, you can make money on these sort of stocks. But long term, you're not going to make millions and millions and millions of dollars. It's just not happening. Oil is probably going to be a struggle another 10, 15 years time they even exist. So just be wary when you go into that sort of investing. But this is a short term. If you're a short term investor, these sort of stocks are something you should start looking into. But in the long term trending market, maybe not. Let's look at number 3 on this list of what you could do in this current market. And that's to get out, and go into bonds, term deposits, commodities, gold, all this sort of stuff. This is what you do, potentially. Why would you do it? If the stocks are just continuing to crash, you're losing money. You can be making interest. Not super high interest, but you can make interest. Even real estate is an opportunity to make some money too in a downtime, because you can get, if the real estate's going down as well, get it at a good price, get it balances up. This is where opportunities are made, folks, when stuff is going down. So yes, you can buy into those treasuries, all that sort of stuff. I'm not saying it's a bad thing to do, but will it make you life-changing money? No. But a short-term play, yes. But once the stock market starts to go back up again, or you need to get it out of there quickly and go buy, and see your money fly. Yes, that's what you need to do. Only do it for the short term, don't do it for the long term. Because you can just keep buying the dip. But again, I reiterate, only buy the dip if the company is good financial health. If it's starting to deteriorate, then you got to start to think again, is this company going to be around for the long haul? That's where you lose a lot of money. Yes, so just interesting to see how that part of the market goes going into the future. It'd just be interesting to see how this all rock and rolls for you. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting time here. But yes, what else can you do in the stock market, folks? What can you do? You got to get yourself ready to rock and roll. Yes. So the last one in this thing is to do the great things here and just buy into stocks for the short term. Okay. So this is the way. Did I say 4? Sorry. So this is 3 stocks options you've got in terms of what you can do in this market. But I have something even better for you. This is the one for me. I think where you can make a lot of money in this market is to buy stocks that are on the way to profitability. Yes, this is my number 1 out of the 4. This is the one, folks. Find stocks that are profitable, going towards profitability, regardless of what's happening in this market right now. So, who is doing that? That is the $1 million question. But ones that have done it in the past of late, Palantir, One company that is heading towards that sort of thing right now, and is a company you should look into, is SoFi. And also you're seeing a little bit of dip in SoFi again. It could be a good time to buy this company. Is it going to be a game changer stock? I'm not 100% sure on that, but you should get good money into the future. But yes, this is how you invest in any market. You buy a stock. Okay, you can play the fool's game and buy a stock regardless of the price and see your money drop in half, or you buy the $1 and it goes to 1,000. That's not a fool's game, but over the long term you will lose money that way. But if you find a company that in the future is starting to go profitable, it's not quite profitable yet, but you've seen the trend for a couple of quarters, 1, 2, 3 quarters, that their net loss has gone from, say, negative $1 million to 500,000 to 250,000. You can with more certainty expect that this company is going to be profitable in another year. You start buying. The shares might have already started to go up, but that's fine, because once it gets to profitability, gets into the S&P 500, whoo, sky's the limit, and that's what's happened with Palantir. There's a prime example of a stock like that. SoFi will be heading the same way, so it's a stock you need to look at, and there's plenty more on the way up. Will SoFi go up as far as Palantir? I don't think so, but SoFi will definitely make a move. And that's how you make money in the stock market, folks. And what you do is when you get a stock, you can hold forever. That's an opportunity for you. You can hold the stock forever, yes, but sometimes it can be dead money just sitting there. But also it sort of just depends on your strategy. You only need 5 stocks, in my opinion. You only need 5 stocks, you'll be fine. You can go to 10 if you want. But this is the thing in the stock market, is that you get to a place where you continue to try and find more and more stocks, and it's hard to keep track of them all. Know stocks well and buy when they're on the dip. So just to give you an example of how to continuously make wealth, you can make wealth in other ways. Sorry, with my other one, my number 4 tip, I don't know why I just couldn't get it in my notes, but my number 4 tip is shorting stocks. You can short stocks at the moment if you think you can make some money that way. There was the other option. So if you think Palantir is going to go to $60, you put some money and it's going to go down to $60 and take the money. But if it doesn't get to that, you lose. That's the dangerous thing with shorting stuff. You can lose it all. But people do use it as hedges, so potentially it's not a bad idea to short stocks. And you can check candlesticks and all that if you think that's something for you in terms of technical analysis to look down the track. They're all options for you, but it's not. It's a good way if you've got a lot of time. If you've got a lot of time, do it. But if you're just plodding along, you still got to put the effort in. You've got to understand it. But you can easily just look at financials of a company and it gives you all the answers you need. Don't even need to know the name of the company. Just check the financials and it gives you the opportunity to invest. If you just looked at financials of companies, didn't look at the names, picked them out, boom, 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 invested in them, forget about them, boom, money. But so this is what I'm saying. So you buy a stock, I'm just going to put Palantir out there. You bought it at, say, $40 and it goes up to $80. Or you bought it at $6 and it went up to over $120. This is what happened at one point. It doesn't matter when you pull the trigger, but I'm just trying to give you a simple example. So from $40, you bought Palantir at $40 and then got up to $80. So you've doubled your money. So what do? I actually think a better example is 120. So you've third it. So you bought it at 40, it went up to 120, which it did. You sold. You don't sell it all. So this is what you do. This is how you make money in the market. And obviously if it went 10x, it's even better. But just a simple strategy to look at. If your stock has if it's got to 3x, you go, okay, you take, like say 50% of the profits. So you've got your money back, you've added 50% and you still got 50, so you still got another 50% on top of that. That's still in the market in that stock. and you can watch that fly for the rest of your life. If it went to 10%, you can still do the same. You can go halfway and you still got half of your 10x still in there. This is when you start to make money, and you just repeat. You look for stocks that are about to become profitable, take the money and run. And this is where you make the money, folks. You can put money into those stocks that continue to, long term are going to be great stocks. You just keep putting it into that, or you find a new opportunity and invest that way. So you have those two options as you continue to build your wealth, and that's how you make money in the stock market. You can make money from technical analysis as well, but true or good ways to make money is to read the financials, understand the business, and go, yes, we're getting near profitability before the stock has done its huge run. It would have done a run, but it wouldn't have done the run to the moon. That's when you buy. And that's when you can make money. And like stocks like Beyond Meat was a prime example of you could have bought and sold completely. If you understand the concept of it, that's what people do in the short term stakes. You can do that, and that's how you could have made money. But yeah, it's all about if and Beyond Meat never got the profitability. There was more, and don't get me wrong, I was part of the Beyond Meat train, but thankfully I got out. Absolutely pulled the trigger and said, see you later. And I sold for a profit. So I didn't sell for a loss. I'm not saying I was a magician, but I sold even before it went bananas. So you could say, what the hell are you doing, mate? But I just saw it getting out of control. The stock isn't worth it. It was a bit of a bold play, hoping it was going to profitability, but it was not the way to invest. And you're not going to make money that way all the time, and you see it crash and burn. So what my advice to you is, understand the financials of the company. Get into understanding revenue, net profit. Have a look at what assets they've got. What's their free cash flow like? Return on invested capital. What's the PE ratio? What's their growth like? What's their future growth like? Because that's how you make the big money. The high flyers are the ones that make big growth over and making 20% plus every quarter. Those are the big ones. The ones that go even higher than that, better. But sometimes you got to look at those lower companies to find those stocks, and that's where you can make money in the stock market. But anyway, it's the stock market crashing at the moment, but will it continue? We will find out. Remember to like and subscribe to Barry Charles, and I'll be back with another video soon.